Good morning, Monday. It is March 30th, a Monday. And I'm tired, but I'm awake. And my seasonal allergies have started. I have a sinus headache, horrible sinus headache. I'm not going to say what this is, but this is the spray that I take during my allergy season because it works the best. Pills, not so much. Plus, the medication, I feel like I can monitor it more with this because some of the medications make my heart rate really high. Why are you barking? Because I left the room and I'm talking. And what? You're afraid? I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to the people on here. Do you want to say hi to the people? This is my aunt going to say that. I know. You know what it is. She knows what it is. Mindy's doesn't, though, huh, Mindy's? Mindy's is very sweet. Mindy's worries about Mama all the time. Novy's worries about Mama. Yeah, Novy's worries about Mama. Novy's does not like Mama taking medications. Yeah, Novy's. Huh, Novy's. Novy's doesn't. But anyways, this is the one. I feel like I can use it when I need it. I do it in the morning because I need it in the morning. I take a couple puffs in each nostril. And for somebody who major addiction in my teens and 20s was cocaine. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. You know, Rick James said so. It is. But for the longest time, I couldn't use any nose spray because it has that interaction with your brain where your brain remembers that feel-good drug that used to be snorted up instead, and it would give me euphoric feelings, actually. And then you would go into kind of like a crave thing. Cocaine is probably one of the easiest drugs to get off of. It was for me. The last time I did it was February 9th of 1991. And then on March 13th of 1991, the person that got me pregnant wanted to do it. And I said no, because we've been sober, or I'd been, he probably wasn't, sober for a whole month. And I didn't want to go back to that because I'd lost 2 children. And I'm pretty sure it was from the drugs, because your body is just not capable of keeping everything alive when you're hardly functioning as well. So I feel awful about what I did. Awful. Thankfully, when I got pregnant, like I've said before, I had that little extra female push in my womb to stay away from that man that got me knocked up. And on March 15th, not even knowing that I was pregnant, because she was conceived on March 13th, the last time that we were together intimately. She saved me. I say that all the time, because had I not had her, I don't know, maybe I would have crawled out of the dating ditch that I was in. Maybe. But maybe not. It's hard to know. Because my depression would have also been a huge factor. And I don't know if I would have had it in me to do anything about it without having Kimberly with me. And oh God, I had so many tough times. Being a single parent is not easy. And although I chose it for myself, when my daughter got pregnant with my grandson, and her partner, they're now married. They've been together this year, I think it's 12. 12 years, my heart ached because they weren't married. And I didn't want that for her at all, because it's hard. It is. It's very hard. Because if you're a good parent, and I'm not saying that you're not, but if you are truly a person who wants a child in this life, you have to be equally unselfish. You have to personally give up parts of your life and be ready to sacrifice. And it doesn't just end when they turn 18. She's 33, and I love her still as much as I did when I found out that she was inside me. And I talked to her from the moment I knew she was there, and sang to her and read to her. And she is the most important person that I have ever known, and still is to me the most important person in my life. I've been with my husband for 25 years. I love him, but nothing compares to the love that I have for my daughter. Nothing. There's nothing that could ever take its place. And I'm so happy to be her mom and so proud of her, of everything she's accomplished and how far she's gone. How wonderful she is. And I'm so thankful for my grandson. The love I have for him is completely different from the love that I have for my daughter, but it's still immense. And there's nothing I wouldn't still do for my daughter. I still would die for her. I would still walk on fire for her, or walk through fire for her. I would do anything. If I had to choose between me or her, I would always choose her. I always have, and I always will, to the day I die. And then after, you can bet, if there really is just a slight variation of where you go, until the day she meets me in that slight variation, I will be right there beside her. I love her so much. So very much. But anyway, so we got off track. I always get off track. It's that stupid mental condition I have called, OCD, bipolar, DID, PTSD, you name it, it's all there. Anyway, so it's Monday, March 30th. We got off track. I'm going to be making a pot roast for dinner tonight because it's easy peasy Japanese. You stick it in the gosh darn crock pot and put it on low. My husband doesn't come home till probably about 3 today because it's a Monday, so they have Zoom calls all day and they're getting ready for a detachment and all that good stuff. So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, here I am. We had a good weekend. We had a huge fight on Saturday because of Min's and her ways of going across to the neighbors and peeing and stuff, and they're putting in a garden, and I know for a fact they're going to poop over there, and he's saying, it's no big deal, they're happy dogs, but I think it's just because he's a religious guy, and he doesn't want to tell me how he really feels, but I wish that he would be honest. So my husband fixed the backyard gate, so they can't get out anymore. So there, they have to go in the backyard now. Because Minz was right there while I was pulling weeds, talking to her about the organic mustard plants that are growing in our yard, or the native ones that are out here anyway. And they smell just like mustards. And while I'm showing that to her, I look back down to the ground and Minz is gone. And Nova is right there where Minz went through the fence. And Nova's like, she can't be trusted, Mom. And of course, she cannot be trusted. So anyways, my husband yells, gets in a huge fight about how I shouldn't be taking them out there, yada, 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 this, that, and every other thing. And I'm really not liking the fact that he's blaming me for our dog's inability to maintain after we've only had her this will be the 4th week. This last weekend was the 4th week. And she still is adjusting. And so, and I don't get it. They'll listen to him, but when it comes to me, they're like, screw you, Mom. I don't care what you say. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, and going next door is where I want to go. Butt heads. But now they can't go out in the front. So, yeah, we got into a tit for tat because he threw in that I never get this stuff done that I'm supposed to get done. But then I threw in that our grass used to be the envy of all of our neighbors. And now it looks like trash because he doesn't do any weed and feed. He doesn't reseed. He doesn't do any of the things that he used to do. And he is now the boss, so he doesn't have to work on the line or on the jets. He just sits in his office. And he's gained like 30 pounds, which I don't care about. I gain weight like that and lose it, gain weight and lose it. He's been through, since I was a size 8 when we met, to a size 14, to a size 22, and then back down to a size 8, and now to a size 12. Between a 10 and a 12. Mostly a 12 feels real, real nice. A 10 is like, on my gut. But if I didn't have a gut, my butt is a size 10. It's not a size 12 because the 12s fit me around the waist, but then they're baggy in my ass and my crotch, which I can't stand. I have this weird body. I have really long legs for the short torso, but legs and butts run in our family. So I got the legs and the butt, but I got this little tiny baby body, this torso of like my grandma and my aunt on my dad's side, the Mexican side, and they're short. And, but their legs were short, so they matched their short torsos. Mine did not, My legs were almost as long as my sister's, who was 5'11", And she said she was only 5'9" because her husband was 5'9", but no, she was much taller than him. She had to wear ballet flats because he didn't want her to tower over him in the wedding pictures. Anyway, I digress because my sister is gone and no longer can I see or talk to her because she died from cancer. Yeah. And I miss her, and you all know that. But anyway, so that was the weekend, off and on, wonderful not. My allergies going forward, you guys are going to notice. I'm always going to have a sinus headache. I'm always going to have a stuffy nose. I'm always going to sound like I'm just going into a cold or out of a cold. And it's madness. Madness, I tell you, madness. But I hope you guys had a nice weekend. Did you? Let me know. Will somebody talk to me, please? Anyway, peace out. It's coming on 15 minutes, and you know how YouTube is. I gotta go, gotta run. See you tomorrow. Love ya. Hope you have a great Monday. Hope that your weekend was wonderful. And I hope that your week will start out in a great way. Hope you find your way today to have a great day. Smile. Be happy. Don't be sad. And moo.